Hello, what's up YouTube photographer Ronix with another color grading tutorial, and in this tutorial I want to show you how I usually color grade studio portraits or how to color grade your indoor images in Capture One. So this is Capture One, and those that usually ask the software I'm using Capture 121. So I want to show you a quick color grading, and I want to show you how you can achieve the best out of your images. So let's first of all analyze this image. You can see this image, for example, in the skin area, it has a variety of colors. Right here we have some yellows, oranges, some magenta, some. So just want to get a uniform skin tone for this very model. So the very first thing I tend to do when it comes to Capture One is correcting the lighting issues and getting the lighting right for all the images I retouch or color grade. So I'm just going to come and take down the highlights to get back the information within the shot. I'm also going to do the same for my whites right here to get back the information there. Then I'm going to come and add contrast to the image. So basically this is more of a personal taste and preference. I'm just going to open up my shadows briefly. Then I'm going to come to my levels and I'm just going to increase on the contrast just like that. Up to around 4 looks great. For around 4 or 5 it looks great. So usually I want to get back information within the shot area. So I'm just going to create another field adjustment layer. So I'm just going to right click here. I'm just going to create a new field adjustment layer. I'm just going to undo that. So right click and create a new field adjustment layer, and I'm just going to take this down a little bit more to get the shot really poppy and get back the information in that shot. So anything I tend to do after correcting the lighting issues in Capture One is simply creating a last or a final field adjustment layer, and in this I handle the skin tones, or I take care of the skin tones for the image. So I'm just going to zoom in slightly by using Control or Command plus on the keyboard. I'm just going to come straight to the color editor, and if at all you're missing this color editor option within your Capture One, simply right click where you have your tools or adjustments and right click right there and just come to add tool and add your color editor. So right now I'm just going to come right here to my color editor and just go straight into skin tone and get the color picker tool. So I'm just going to get a representation for the overall skin for this very model. So I feel like this spot right here is a great one, and as soon as I click, you can see it shows me the range in which, or the colors that fall within the sampled area. You can see the sampled area is this dot in the middle, and the colors surrounding it, all that make up that point, is yellows, magentas, we have some oranges and reds. So I just want to harmonize or get a uniform skin tone for the model, and I'm just going to come straight down here to where it says uniformity. I'm just going to come to the hues, and I'm just going to take that up to when I feel like the skin is a little bit uniform, and I'm also going to increase on the saturation to get more rich skin color for the model right here. So this looks okay, it looks great. So the next thing I tend to do is coming the lightness and just turning the lightness down for this case to get the skin to be a little bit richer. So right now the skin looks even, it looks great, but sometimes as we're color grading we tend to have a personal preference. For example, adding maybe a color within the shadows or the highlights of the image. So that is where the color balance tool comes in hand. So under color balance, you can add a given color in the shadows, the midtones, and the highlights. And for this case, I feel like I want to add a slight bit of bluish or cyan kind of feel to my shadows. So as soon as you click in the middle and you move this around, it is going to add that given color to your image depending on what color you're trying to add. So for this case, the more close it is towards the edges, the more concentrated that color is going to be. And the closer to the center you move the circle, the less intensity or the less of that color that you're going to be having in your shadow area. So for this case, I just want to add a slight bit of this color right here, that is the cyan, or a middle between the cyans and the blues. So this looks okay. I'm just going to come to my midtones, and I'm just going to add a little bit of oranges to my midtones, just like that. And when it comes to the highlights, I usually add some greens to the highlights, and that really gets the image to look even better. So just like that. Just going to zoom out by using Ctrl or Command minus. So after this, the next thing I tend to do, I come back to my color editor tool and I come to the basic adjustments. So I just come to the oranges right here and I just take down the lightness to make the skin a little bit richer, just like that. And I'm also going to come and reduce on the saturation of the oranges. So I feel like the skin of the model is a little bit more on the cool side. So what I'll do, I'm just going to come back to the shadows and I'm just going to increase on the cyans in the shadows to kind of cool down the image. So this looks okay, it looks great. So let's look at a quick before and after for the color grading of this image. Just going to turn on the before and after slider so that you can see the before and after for the color grading. So this is the image before and this is the after. Before, after, look at how nice and uniform the skin is now looking. So when you feel like you have tampered or changed the makeup for your subjects or your models or the person you have been color grading, make sure you just come back to this new field adjustment. And it is the advantage of creating adjustment layers as you color grading in Caption, because you can erase a given color grading on the adjustment layer. So just come and select the color grading layer for skin tones, because it has also messed up or changed the original color in the makeup. So just come and select it and get the eraser tool. So since this is a new or a field adjustment layer, when I press M on the keyboard for the mask, you can see it was applying the color grading on the overall image. So as soon as you press M for mask, that is why it is showing a red mask all over the image. And after getting the eraser tool, you can come and rub or erase the color grading, for example, from the lips, if at all you don't want or you didn't want to change or alter the original color within the lips, and maybe the eyeshadow, because usually we don't want to tamper around with the makeup of the images or the models you're trying to edit or color grade. So after doing that, just simply press M on the keyboard and you'll get back the image that looking very nice and great with very nice and uniform skin tone. So basically this is how I color grade studio portraits in Caption. And if at all you have found this helpful, and before we conclude this video, I can show you how you can easily export your image into Photoshop to do a skin retouching. So just come and get the pointer tool and simply right click on the image, then come to edit with and come to Adobe Photoshop, and you can come and select, I prefer TIFF and I prefer 16-bit right here. I make sure it is uncompressed and the ISO profile is RGB 98. The resolution is 300 pixels per inch and the scale is fixed, and I just come to edit variants and it is going to go straight into Photoshop. So basically this is it for this tutorial, and if at all you have loved this, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe this channel if at all you have been watching. And this is the before and after for the color grading. So this is it for this tutorial, and I'll see you in yet another one. And don't forget to keep practicing and